So it's Saturday evening, and a few hours ago somebody reached out and wanted to know why I'm working on the weekend, and more specifically why I work so much so often. And you know, when you take a step back and recognize that every day I'm up at 3:45 a.m. I work on weekends. I set an alarm on Sundays. I work holidays. My work days are usually a minimum of 12 hours, but more commonly 14 to 16 hours. My schedule is saturated with appointments, whether it be in-person meetings and consultations, Zoom chats, podcasts, sales and consultation calls. Whether I'm at the gym, in the office, on the road, there's always something on the go. I'm working with current clients, working to reach new clients, figuring out ways to add value to the lives of currently complete strangers, such that one day I can service them in some capacity, or at the very least, positively and progressively impact their lives such that they make better decisions relative to their training, nutrition, and lifestyle. Moving forward, I'm always entertaining new ideas, prioritizing the development of new projects, attempting to and sometimes successfully building new businesses. And rarely, almost never, do I consider the amount of work I engage in on a consistent basis to be unreasonable. In fact, I almost never even notice. It's just the way my days unfold. One into another, and consequently after another. And I don't consider the amount of work I do to be unreasonable at all until my work ethic is brought into question. Until somebody asks why or how I work so much. And it's interesting because it's something that I've given a lot of thought to, because working as much as I do, even though I don't consider it to be that much or that unreasonable or that unique, it's because it gets questioned so often. It intrigues me. It does make me think about it. And I imagine personally, one of the reasons why I work so much is because I'm well aware that somebody is gunning for my spot. As the saying goes, the wolf at the bottom of the hill is always hungrier than the one at the top. And by no stretch of the imagination do I consider myself to be at the top, which is maybe why my hunger is currently insatiable, because I know how much more potential I feel that I'm sleeping on. And I see individuals who, no disrespect to them, I feel have less potential than I do, much further ahead, and that motivates me and that inspires me. I want to get to that spot. I want to get to that level. I want to get to that apex, that peak. And then when I get there, I want to be able to look at what exists past that point. Where can I go from there? So to a degree, I feel like the wolf at the bottom of the hill, or at the bottom of the hill that I'm currently facing. And I want to get to the top. But I'm also well aware that to somebody else, I am the wolf at the top of the hill in front of them. And they are scratching and clawing to take my spot. They're working 24/7, around the clock, 365 days a year, to take my spot. Just as I'm scratching and clawing, relentlessly working 24/7, 365 to take somebody else's spot, that same wolf that's at the top of the hill that I can see from my current position. Just as in theory, they're also doing the same. But I recognize that should I slack a minute, should I misstep, should I shuffle my feet, or worse, kick them up and relax just a little bit too long, that person that's putting in the work that I'm not, that's paying the dues that I'm not, that person that's up bright and early, not so bright, still pretty early, isn't letting the sun catch them in bed, that person who's reading when I'm resting, who's learning, who's training, who's taking it one step further each and every day, who's making the sales call when I'm not, who's closing the deals when I'm not, who's going that extra mile. That person is going to take my spot.